This year's Women of Achievement. That's next on City Corner. I'm Steve Potter, and welcome to City Corner. 2018's Women of Achievement will be honored at an upcoming luncheon, and today we're going to meet 2 of the 10 women that are being honored. And I'd like to introduce you to our first guest. She is Shannon Marie D. Kemper. Shannon, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you weren't really familiar with the organization, or the award, I should say. Women of Achievement, I think, has been doing this since 1955, I think. But you got a phone call. Tell me how all this came about for you.
So I was at home on a Sunday and got a call from an unknown number, which I usually don't answer, right. And I did. And a very nice woman on the other end proceeded to tell me that I had won an award for Women of Achievement, and I asked her if she was kidding and who put her up to it.
Another prank call, right?
Right. And after I asked her about 3 or 4 questions, she told me to look up the website because it was a true thing, and check it out, and I did.
Yeah. You know, usually most awards that I'm familiar with, people like enter, submit their own names.
No.
Do you understand how you got their attention?
Well, I do now, but at the time I had no idea.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I do now. My husband nominated me.
No kidding.
Yes, I will get him back.
You're not upset about this honor, are you?
No, not at all.
You're involved in a couple of things we're going to talk about, but it's all volunteer work. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Have you been a volunteer for a long time?
For about 5 or 6 years now.
Uh-huh. You're the category, as I said, there are 10 women that are honored every year as Women of Achievement. Each have their own category. And your category is humanitarian concerns.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
I guess that I care about humans. That would be my best description, which is kind of true. I'm not going to judge you. I just care that everybody feels loved.
Mm-hmm. How'd that come about for you? Has that just always been in your head, or did something happen? Or
it's always been in my head, and I think my kids kind of. I don't know. I want the rest of the world to see the world like my kids do, or like young kids do, with just hope and happiness. And I think, I kind of have that a little bit too. Like there's that little kid inside of me that wants everybody to feel that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, there are 3 things that you're primarily involved in that I want to talk about in a second. But we have a couple of images here first of you with other individuals. And is there a story there?
Yeah, that's actually one of the first people I got close to with Shower to the People. Dante is his name.
Showers to the People is one of the organizations that you're involved with, and it is what it says it is. What do they do?
It's a mobile shower unit. So it can go around the city, and it's got 2 shower stalls in it and sinks, and you can get a nice, hot, warm shower.
Is this part of it here?
Yes, that's the shower unit itself, and that's myself and my oldest daughter.
Tell me who are you helping with this? Who are the kind of people that need this? Can you generally describe that?
Our homeless community that doesn't have, sometimes they have access to shelters, sometimes not, and even in the shelters they don't necessarily always have access to showers. So this helps all those people.
How did this idea come about?
Jake Austin, who is in the past picture, has been doing this for years and years and years, and he was helping pass out shampoos and conditioners, and somebody said to him one day, "This is great, but what am I supposed to do with this shampoo?" And so the idea was born, and he created the shower truck.
And what's the reaction been?
It's been really, really great. Yeah, it's been really great. We did a video for the shower truck that wasn't really, it was going to be just to churches and things like that, and somebody got a hold of it and it went viral. So we had over 100 million views, and a lot of people very excited about it and very interested in it.
Uh-huh. So what do you do? Do you actually go out and ask people what they need? How do you market it, I guess?
Well, you don't really have to market it. Usually we...
That was the wrong word, but...
Yeah, usually we just partner with somebody that's giving out food and clothing, and we're in the same spot they are. So the people just come up and, they need a shower, they take a number, and we get them in the shower.
How many people take advantage of that? Do you have numbers?
We do, it depends. In the winter, not as high, and it has to be 36 degrees or higher for us to run the shower truck for 6 hours or longer. And in the summertime, it can be upwards of 40, 50 people for a night.
Okay, shower. Like what about soap, deodorant, towels? I'm thinking of all these other things you might have to have.
Right, we do. We have in the shower stall, each shower stall has shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. They're given a towel and a washcloth. And then outside the truck, we give out hygiene products.
So you actually there on the site and talk to these people and everything?
Yeah.
And what do they tell you? What do you hear?
Oh, just same thing you would sit and talk to your friends about. They're very friendly. They're just like you or I, and they just want to tell you what's going on in their lives, and you sit and listen, and, they have jokes, and they have, sometimes sad stories, but, for the most part, just regular like you and I.
And how much do they appreciate what you're doing for them that day?
I think a lot more than we appreciate things that we have.
It's something most of us take for granted, isn't it?
They're very appreciative.
There's another thing you're involved with, aletheia. What does that word mean?
Aletheia means truth, not to be hidden.
And this is really interesting because you're working with people in the sex industry.
I do.
Tell me who you deal with.
So we deal with like strippers and in the strip clubs, and we also do deal with the managers and the DJs and the bartenders in the clubs, and then we also partner with somebody else, and we work with prostitutes on the streets, and we do a clean needle exchange.
So with these people in the adult entertainment industry and so forth, what are you doing for them?
So really what we're doing is just kind of walking with them, being friends with them. If they choose to come out of the industry, we're there to help them get out of the industry, but we don't force them. We just want to tell them we're there for them, we're friends, we care about them, because it's a group of people that most people push to the side and don't want anything to do with.
Yeah, I pick up on what you say, that you help them leave the industry if they want to.
Correct.
Because, of course, you can't force them to.
Correct.
But that's kind of really what you want in the back of your mind, right?
Yes. We want to show them that it's possible, and some of the things these girls have been through is they don't know any different. They really think this is the best that can happen for them, and we try to show them that there is more if they choose. But if they don't, we don't judge them. We're just there. They need a hug. They need a shoulder to cry on. They just want to talk to somebody they can trust.
I'd imagine everybody in that business has a different story.
They do.
Is it hard to get that story out of them sometimes?
It takes some time. It's taken quite a while. I've been going into the clubs now for a couple years, and it took me about a year to really start earning trust, because most of them believe that you're there for something else.
Because they're used to people using them for something, right? So that's what you do. You actually go into the clubs and sort of like pose as a customer and just strike up a conversation just casually?
Yeah, we bring gifts. A lot of times we'll bring the girls gifts. Perfumes or hot chocolate or, pizza. Christmas time, we bring bags with blankets and some hygiene products that are good for them and things like that.
Well, how do you approach them initially? I would think that would be very delicate.
It's not so much we approach them. We come in and we bring things, and they a lot of times will come to us.
But why do you say you're there to bring them something?
Just because we care. And it takes a while for them to realize that's really why we're there.
So out of every 10, I know this, you're making you guess, but out of every 10 of those workers, how many want to leave?
I would say at least 6 or 7.
No kidding?
Yeah. A lot of them are there because they came from extremely bad situations.
Right. Abuse?
Yes.
Or
Drug
drugs?
use. Abuse, yes.
So once you develop a friendship and someone seems open to it, where do you go from there?
Just communication. They let us know kind of what they want. and we try to find avenues to help them get to where they want to be. It's a lot of communication, because it's a very easy thing to fall back into, because
Right.
it's just easy for them. It's easy for them, and it's safe. It's a safe environment. And so to come outside of that environment sometimes can be very scary for these women.
Is it ever scary for you going into those clubs?
I guess no. I just have a trust. I feel like, if they can do it, I can do it. So I guess I'm not scared. No.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left, but I want to ask you about another thing that you're involved with. One of the reasons you're one of the 2018 Women of Distinction, and that's the color-coded chef.
So the color-coded chef is, it was born from a woman whose son is, he has special needs. He's one of 7 kids with this particular DNA strand. It's not even a named thing yet. And he is 16 years old, but when he was born, they were told him he would never walk, never talk. And he walks and talks, and now she wants to teach him how to cook. And so he did not understand measurements, a fourth a cup, a half a cup, didn't make any sense to him.
I have a hard time with that.
As to a lot of men, I think. So she started color coding everything, and then she realized, wow, this actually works. And so the idea was born, and it's the color-coded chef, and it was made specifically for special needs children, and to give them, it's a life skill to be able to cook. But we're also finding patients with dementia can use it, and we're finding young children that are just learning to cook but don't know measurements yet. And it comes with a recipe book, and it's very picture oriented, and everything. If you can do colors, you can cook.
Huh. Well, Shannon Marie D. Kemper, I don't know how you have time to do all this. How many hours a month do you put into this?
I have no idea.
No idea? Don't keep track?
Idea. No.
Hey, on a positive note, I do want to congratulate you again, and you're going to be honored with the other Women of Achievement on that luncheon on Tuesday, May the 15th. But you have a little trip coming up to England soon. You excited about that?
I am. I'm going to see my daughter. She's getting her master's degree in applied human rights in the University of York. So I'm very excited.
Applied human rights. What kind of career does she want to have?
Social work of some sort.
Did she get that from you, or?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, have a great trip to England.
Thank you.
Have a great luncheon, and you do great work. It's a fascinating story that you have, too. It's the Women of Achievement, honoring the volunteer services and leadership of extraordinary St. Louis area women. And you can find more information right there on the screen about the luncheon and about the other things that they do. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and continued success.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more City Corner right after this.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
I'm Steve Potter. Welcome back to City Corner. Today we're talking about the 2018 Women of Achievement, and we're meeting 2 of them today. And right now I'd like to introduce you to Tammy Iscaris. Tammy, how are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, really, thank you.
When I was talking to Shannon a little bit early in the program, she had never heard of Women Achievement. She didn't know who they were. When they called, she thought it was a prank. How about you?
It's really funny because I had known of Women of Achievement, but I didn't know our board president actually sent in the nomination.
Uh-huh.
And when they called, I said, what? And they said, yeah, you've been awarded da-da-da-da-da. And I said, no. And I just giggled. Because I thought, oh, one of these things is not like the other. I just love doing what I do. And so it's quite an honor. And I read through bios of other women and I think, oh my goodness, I do not belong in this category, but it's such a blessing. I'm very humbled by it.
Well, each of the 10 women that are honored every year have a category of their own, and yours is social enterprise. So do you know what that means?
Well, I know that we actually, Riverbend is
You're talking about, let me jump in, Riverbend Ministries.
Riverbend Family Ministries. Right. I am the volunteer executive director of Riverbend Family Ministries. I founded it and started it about 11 years ago. And we pull smaller nonprofits underneath one roof, and we're an incubator for those smaller nonprofits to do the work that they do. Uh-huh. And that's probably why I was nominated for Social Enterprise. I love what we do. I have volunteered all my life, so.
Uh-huh. Oh, I want to point out too that Women of Achievement honors women over the whole St. Louis metropolitan area. You happen to be in Madison County, Illinois.
I am in Madison County.
And which town do you live in over there?
I live in Wood River, which is, we just usually say St. Louis. When somebody asks where you're from, I usually say St. Louis. But we are in Wood River, which is on the west side of Madison County.
Some might call it the Alton metro area.
It is called the Riverbend, the
right.
Alton metro area. You're absolutely right. And we have some mutual friends in the Alton area. But it's an honor to represent Illinois and to represent this side in Madison County.
I think, what are we looking at here?
Oh, that's my family. that is my world, and they keep me grounded. Those are my children and my grandchildren, and that is my heart. I love giving to our community. That's my husband. I love giving to our community, and I pour out, a lot of who I am to some of our most vulnerable families in Madison County.
What's your husband's name?
My husband's name's Retta. He is from Egypt. I volunteered with a vacation Bible school, and after we were done, we had a shaving cream fight, and this little girl came up and she started pushing shaving cream in my face, and then she backed up because she thought, oh, I'm an adult, I shouldn't be doing that, and I just giggled, and it was so much fun. But children are my heart. And so that's just one of those fun things that I get to do.
I think one of the things that they're honoring you for is just the amount of your volunteerism, because it really adds up. Is that something you always did?
I always have. I've always had a heart for missions. I've always had a heart to serve. And so from early teenage years, I was involved with mission work. I was a youth leader when I was 19 and continued to do youth work. Teenagers are my heart. Our families of addiction and violence are really my heart's cry. And so Riverbend works with families, Riverbend Family Ministries works with families affected by trauma.
So it's not a church per se?
It's not a church. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that puts smaller nonprofits under one roof. Uh-huh. Because there was, about 11 years ago, I knew that there were smaller nonprofits that were doing amazing work. But they weren't able to do that work because they didn't have a brick and mortar, because they couldn't afford the overhead, the phone lines, the electricity, the paper, the copier. And I thought, what if we pulled all of these nonprofits under one roof? How could we better serve the families of Madison County? Mm-hmm. And so I say I get the office with a view. I get to pour into the lives of families of addiction, families of trauma, and our 0 to 11-year-olds that have been exposed to violence or have witnessed violence.
How do you find these people, or how do they find you?
Oh my gosh, we work really hard with our judicial system, with family court, through our school systems, through parole officers, our truancy officers, other social services will refer to our agency. Refuge, which is one of our organizations, works with our 0 to 11-year-olds that have been exposed to horrific trauma. Steve, there's Madison County has some horrific trauma happening to our babies, and to be able to give them that safe place to fall. And
Can you be more specific? What do you mean?
A story that I tell, one of our single moms came in one day, and she came in just for energy assistance, because we also do sustainability, where we'll do housing and utilities, tires on a van, gas in the car, because some of those are those basic needs that our families need to get to that next step and to thrive. One of our single moms came in asking for energy assistance. Well, one of my volunteers came to my office and said, Tammy, I think you need to speak to this lady. She started telling a story. And Steve, that's what we do. We come from a trauma-informed care model of leaning in to families and saying, what's your story? And we all have a story. We all have a story of why we're in the situation we're in. And so here's this young lady, and as she began to talk, she began to cry. And she said, I'm living in a home with my children and my partner who is violently abusive. I can't pay my power bill because he steals it to go do drugs. And he had violently beat her in front of her children. And she couldn't pay her power bill, and they were going to be evicted from their home. So RFM was, and Riverbend Family Ministries, who I say RFM a lot, RFM was not only able to pay that power bill, we were able to get those children into therapeutic care, surrounded by amazing child therapists. We were able to get her into a safe place. We were able to wrap around her and go through the judicial system and family court to be able to get her that order of protection to keep her safe.
It can't be easy though, right? Because, and you would know more than I do, but isn't it true in those circumstances, you know, what they call the cycle of abuse, and it's hard, even if someone's unhappy, to break it, that pattern? Isn't that tough?
It is tough, and statistically, they say that a partner will go back into a violent situation 6 to 8 times before they really leave.
Wow.
But you have to realize that we're still going to be that safe place to fall. But I can tell you now that this woman and her children are thriving. Her children are doing amazing in school. They bounce back into RFM and report on academic achievements that the kids are doing and how well she's doing. So we say that, you know, it's not just about the power, but at the end of the day, it really may be, because those children were given their power back. Mm-hmm. Those children learned that there are safe places and that there are safe boundaries. That mom got her power back because she is not in that abusive situation anymore. We have addicts that come in, and we may be their last step before they go shoot up and pass. We've had the privilege to get them to detox and to rehab, and through the organizations at Riverbend to be able to wrap around them as they come out of rehab.
Do you ever give up on anyone? Because you talk about relapsing, most people do. And I would think it'd be tough for people like you. You want to help somebody, they try once, they relapse. They try twice, they relapse. How many chances do they get?
How many chances do I get when I mess up? I get a lot. And my mandate is to serve and not judge. And my mandate is to be a safe place. And that's what Riverbend is. We all mess up on a regular basis. This is Washington University. We're very connected with a lot of the Center for Experiential Learning, and we have fellows from WashU, and that's the Taylor Consulting Group that we are blessed to be a part of, that comes in and they volunteer their time, and we go out and do needs assessment and marketing, and they've just been a huge help to what we do, and we were honored as being part of that program and volunteering our time. So.
What's the First Impressions team?
The First Impressions team is my church in Edwardsville, and we'll go back to that picture in a little bit because that's a good picture. But the First Impression team we are part of a mission team that they say in a church setting, when people finally get the guts to try a new church, they know if they like that church within the first 7 minutes. And so I'm part of a great team of people that are that first impression, whether it be as they walk, drive in the parking lot, whether we open the door, they come in with small kids and then in this new building and they have no idea where to go. And so we help navigate them when we see new people. And my personality is a little large, and so it's easy for me to do that and to help make that first impression.
You weren't a shy little girl, were you?
Actually, I was. I really was a shy little girl.
What's
this? This is Erin Bickle. She is one of my dear friends, and we got the opportunity to volunteer and go to Egypt and to train in an orphanage over there, to train their trainers and their therapists and their caregivers on trauma-informed care this past year. And so it was really amazing to be able to go over there and teach them how to take care of children of crisis.
Well, Tammy Iscaros, we want to congratulate you again. I hope you have a good time at that luncheon, which is coming up. I want to ask you something. They said,
yes.
They told me that you have volunteered more than 30,000 hours. So I was trying to do the math. If you were working a minimum wage job, how much money you'd make?
That would be, I guess, a lot of money. But I get paid watching generations change. I get paid watching people's lives put on a different trajectory. I get paid investing in the lives of families. So I'm rich. I am rich because I get to watch families change lives.
It's a Women of Achievement, which honors volunteer services and leadership of extraordinary St. Louis area women like Tammy here from Madison County, Illinois. And if you want more information about the luncheon which is coming up or about the organization in general, you can go to their website or give them a call. The luncheon is Tuesday, May the 15th at the Ritz-Carlton in St. Louis. And I guess people can buy tickets and go and have a great lunch. And
Yeah.
do you have to speak or anything?
Oh, sweet Jesus, I hope not. No, I think they did a video, and so we're supposed to just be able to go up and sit down and and watch the video. I pray that. I received an award years ago in the Altner, the Y, gives out an award, and we did that, and me and Dee Dee Jones, a couple other people did that, and it was so funny because we got up to sit down, and the tape broke. So we had to get up at that moment and speak. So, that triggers a little bit
I
of
think
this
you're
tape.
going to do fine.
I think we're going to do
Tammy,
fine.
congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm Steve Potter, and thank you at home for watching City Corner, Women of Achievement. Join us next time.